Okay, so these are my two green pans. They are the Venice Pro Noir ceramics, and they come, it's a 2-pack, and it comes in a 10-inch and 8-inch size. And which is really great because you think that 2 inches wouldn't be that significant of a difference in size, but it really is. And having both of them is really great. And I'm going to show you how I use them today while making this little brunch. What's great about ceramic pans is that it makes them really easy to clean. They're non-stick, but without having like the toxins in them that other non-stick pans have. So I discovered ceramic pans 2 or 3 years ago on my birthday, and I was making scrambled eggs at some Airbnb, and they had a ceramic pan, and it just made a tremendous difference in the cooking of the eggs, and b the cleaning of the pan was just so much easier afterwards, because eggs, they can be either the easiest or hardest thing to cook, and having a ceramic pan allows you to make like the fluffiest scrambled eggs, or to easily like take a fried egg off and flip it. Since I've owned these pans, I've cooked for dozens of friends. I love having dinner parties, and it's just made the cleanup process so much easier, and also the cooking process so much better. I was just using these stainless steel pans before, and you really had to like time everything perfectly, pay attention to everything, because if you left the heat on too high, or if you weren't like constantly turning something, it would just stick to the bottom of the pan and create this like crusty layer, and that a ceramic pan is not going to do that for you. So that's why it's really, really great. And also, what is nice is that the exterior here is stainless steel, and like any pot, over time, if you like spill a little oil on the side and it gets heat to it, it's going to brown a bit, but you can use steel wool or like a Brillo pad to clean that super easily, and it will look as good as new. So that's another aspect I love. You do not want to use anything metal on the inside. You want to stick with like a plastic or rubber spatula in here, heat-proof ones, obviously, because that is going to make sure that you don't scratch the inside of the pan. And yeah, so let's get started here. The first thing I'm going to do is cut up a little shallot, because I want to make some like crispy onions for him, which I think is going to be really nice. So I'm just going to crush the shallot here and open it up. I'm going to chop this like pretty thinly so that I get nice little crispy bits. It's not too much onion, but it's like just enough to add a little bazinga to the recipe, which I am making up on the spot. It's going to be, I'm going to do like a breakfast rice kind of a thing. So next I'm going to grab some olive oil, and I'm just going to use my little pan for this one. Just a splash of olive oil inside, not too much, because the shallot has already so many like good natural oils in there. And I'm going to put the heat on high for a second. Just get the rest of this shallot chopped. The other great thing about ceramic pans is if you're cooking anything like pancakes or crepes, anything really that you need to flip, even like chicken thighs or something, it also just makes like the cooking process so much more chill, and can keep the skin on the chicken so much more crispy without it getting stuck to the pan and like peeling off. And I just really value that. So our oil, we're gonna like swish it around like that in the pan. And now I'm going to dump my shallots in and let those heat up. clean up my mess here. Always good to clean as you go, people. So the next things that I'm going to add in here are going to be a little bit of feta cheese, a homemade chimichurri. I'm going to cut up some radicchio and then finish it up with rice and some eggs. All right, so you can hear the shallots are cooking in here. I'm going to keep them, wait till they get crispy, and then I'm going to move them over to a bowl. In the meantime, I'm going to slice up some of this radicchio. And I just feel like when you have good little tools like these pans in the kitchen and like this tray, that it makes kind of treating yourself every day way easier, you know, because you can prepare something and make it look cute. And even though you have a million other things to do that day, at least you look good and the things around you look good. And I like that. So my onions, my little shallots are crisping up. Again, I'm going to use like plastic spatula in this pan because I don't want to scrape the bottom. Now, while these are finishing up, I'm going to use my big pan on a different burner. And I'm again going to add in a little bit of olive oil here. Let that heat up. And that is where I'm going to start like slowly heating up the rice, which is going to be delicious. This rice we made the other night, but one of the great things about rice is you can heat it up and make it delicious again. Cold rice, different story, because I guess you can get bacteria and whatnot. I had a roommate in college who was very adamant about not eating cold rice. So now you can see my shallots are nice and crispy. I'm going to put them aside in a bowl so that they don't overcook themselves. And I'm going to leave the oil of the shallots in this pan so that I can use it later for the eggs. So I'm going to turn that off, and I'm actually going to bring this big pan over to this burner just because it's closer to camera. Swish that oil around town. Yeah, I've had a bunch of friends like come over and help me cook in the past, and they were just going like crazy with my old pans. They hated them. Like it drove them nuts because anytime they would try to make something, it would get destroyed because the pans would get too hot and everything would stick to the bottom, and yeah. And then of course we've all gone through like the IKEA non-stick pans, and within probably like 2 months of use, like the handle starts wobbling and you have to go get a new one, and it's annoying. These are like real deal. They're heavy, they're hardcore, they're pretty sleek looking. Like I might even consider keeping them out just on the countertop because they're kind of attractive, you know? And I also feel like investing in good cookware is important because, you know, it's like why people can be so into like spending a lot of money on a Dutch oven or something. It's the same idea here. You want to buy a pan that is going to last you a long, long time. So I'm just heating the rice up here. I also feel like we undervalue cooking meals for ourselves, like when we're working. And I think that that's partially because, like, when you're doing a bunch of work, it can be really stressful to like sit down and cook yourself something or to step away from the computer to make something. But it doesn't have to be. If you have the right tools in your kitchen, everything becomes so much easier because you don't have to worry about taking extra steps to make something happen. It's just kind of ready to go. And that's what I like about having these pans. It's made just such a significant difference for me. Okay, so this rice is cooking. I'm going to turn the temperature down to low so that it doesn't overcook. Now I'm going to want to add like a little garnish later with some avocado. So I'm going to slice this up while I'm waiting. I've got the little radicchio here. And this is honestly just like a breakfast bowl that I'm putting together using leftovers. So this is something that really anyone can do using whatever variety of ingredients. You know, you could throw in leftover chicken in here. You could put salmon in here. You don't even have to use rice. Like you could use sorghum or quinoa or whatever. But my boyfriend likes carbs, so we're doing rice. I thought about making a breakfast sandwich, but then that wasn't as exciting, so whatever. These eggs are really cute. This one's green. I don't know if you can tell. But I like to make sure that my eggs have no hormones in them and that they're all organic. It's like an annoying extra $2 or $3, but I feel like it makes a difference. Because I don't like to think about how other chickens are raised and how they're just like roaming around. But they're not roaming around. They're like locked in cages and it's terrible. And so, yeah. Okay, rice is heating up. I'm just blabbering, honestly, right now. So, while that's doing that, maybe we want to add in a little crispy garlic too. So I'm going to smash, whoa, holy flags. I'm going to smash this garlic like that, which is kind of my little trick to get the peel off. My mom taught me that. And then I'm going to cut the little ends off the garlic. Bye. And then chop it up nice and thin. But yeah, you know, in other countries, people step away to like go have lunch at a restaurant or go home and make themselves a proper lunch. But in the US, I feel like we are not good at that. And I don't think, I think it's something we should change because life is short and food is good and bodies are important and we deserve to eat deliciously all of the time. So now you can see here I've got both pans going. I've got my 10-inch and my 8-inch cooking away. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil for the garlic just because it's going to help crisp it up. Yeah, the Greenpan is awesome. I'd actually never heard about them before Verishop, which was kind of surprising because I was working for a store a few years ago that was all about like kitchen supplies, you know, very home and garden forward, and we were looking and sourcing pans for a very long time, and I hadn't heard of Greenpan, but I love them, and they are sturdy pans that are going to last you a long time. And buying things that last you a long time is ultimately being more eco-conscious, so it's worth it. The packaging they came in was also like pretty eco-conscious, all cardboard, very easily recycled, and I really like that aspect of it too. As you guys know, packaging is really important to me because as someone who appreciates like nice products and wants to continue to get them, I don't want to feel nasty about that. I don't want to get something like wrapped in a bunch of bubble wrap or like styrofoam that I can't do anything with. So when people can make a conscious effort to use more cardboard, like recycled cardboard and whatnot, I feel like that makes a big difference. So now you can see my garlic has gotten nice and brown and crispy. And before it burns, I'm going to take it out of the pan and put it in with the shallots. So they're going to hang out together. What up, homie? Okay. So I dumped a little bit of oil out. I'm going to turn my temperature down to medium low on the little guy. The rice is crisping up really nicely, so I'm putting that all the way on low now. And I think, my friends, we can fry these eggs up now. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 fried eggs. or yeah, 2 eggs, and I will fry them. I want to get a little bit closer so that you guys can see this better. I'm gonna switch this out here. Bada bing, bada boom. Because I want you guys to see how beautifully, there's a little bit of oil in this pan, but like not much, honestly. It's just leftovers. And I just really want to show you guys like how easily eggs can be flipped on this pan. I mean, it's a miracle. Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna crack an egg with one hand because honestly, I'm not that good at cracking eggs. Mom, if you see this video, do not judge me. But the pan was already pretty hot. So there we go. In the meantime, I'm going to grab a little bowl that I'm going to serve him in. So the egg is frying. And you can see here, like, see how, well, maybe you can't see that, but see how, like, easily it comes up? It's like nothing is sticking to the bottom of that pan, which I love. So my rice is basically ready. The egg is a-cooking. And this pan is actually so easily used that you can actually cook 2 at a time. And because they're so, it's going to be so easy to pick them up. Like, they might touch each other, but they're not going to like stick super hard to the pan. And that's why these pans are awesome. They speed up your cooking process, easier to clean. Like even here, you can see this, I'm getting like a little bit of film, but see how easily that like comes off the side? Like it just makes cleaning them so much easier. And that's a big deal. I don't have a dishwasher, so I have to do a lot of dishes, and that drives me crazy. And so yeah, the eggs did kind of stick together, but that's fine. Like I said, we're going to split them apart because I want to present them like separate when I put them in the bowl. But they don't stick to the pan. All right, I'm going to let them go for a little bit longer. In the meantime, I'm going to take my bowl and I'm going to add in the rice that I had heating in the 10-inch pan. And I'm going to move it right into here, right off the bowl into the pan. And wait till you guys see this. There's no residue left after cooking this. And I know it was just rice, but I'm telling you, like in my old pan, it would stick. It's basically clean. I mean, I'm going to clean it, but like nothing nasty left over here. So I love that. Putting that over in the sink. The eggs are almost done. So I've got my little bed of rice here, and I'm going to go ahead now and add the radicchio that I sliced up earlier. So I'm just going to put this like right on top, kind of like fluffy, like a little nest. And now I'm going to wait a second. The eggs are almost ready. I'm going to give them a quick little flip just so that you guys can see how easily they come off. Well, I'm not that good at flipping, but they do come easily off. Boom. And then that's probably all they need. So now I'm going to try and flip them back. Boom. Okay, eggs are done. And so now I'm going to take my little nesty bowl, and I'm going to put the eggs right on top. The yolk on this one kind of exploded because I'm excited. So I'm going to cut that part off, leave it in the pan, and put this one right on top of the other. And now you can see like there's a little bit of the egg left in the pan that I didn't want to use. But again, it's like perfect. It's clean. It's going to be so easy to get the rest of the residue out of there. And that's why I love these pans. So I put that stuff in the sink, and now I'm going to finish my assembly here. So I've got the 2 little eggs on the bed of radicchio, and I'm now going to add a little bit of the sprinkled garlic and shallots that I did. Just put that right on top like that. It's gonna be flavorful. And I want to take some of this avocado out. Just grab a little fork. He is gonna be very excited about this brunch. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of the avo on the side here. I mean, those of you who live in LA, like, squirrel, hello, you got competition. Crumble a bit of the sheep's milk feta that I have. Put that right on top. I love a lot of cheese, and so does my boyfriend, so why not? Finally, I'm going to take a little bit of my homemade chimichurri and just kind of put it right on top like that. And the last touch will be a bit of S&P, salt, and pepper. Boom. So now you've got this gorgeous little brunch bowl ready to go. And what are we going to do with it? We're going to put it on our super cute tray. So